We work, we struggle, we learn. We join together in a daily fight against the grip of hunger and against fear and generational poverty. We help fit all the pieces of life together. We perform the Lord's work with care and concern, and always with love, all for the sake of those in need. We are Hill Country Daily Bread Ministries, and this is what we do.
It's a distribution day at Hill Country Daily Bread Ministries. Food boxes will be assembled and delivered to the families we service. Volunteers sort products including canned goods, fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, bread, adult and infant diapers, baby products, and health and sanitation products. The boxes are hand-delivered by a family mentor who establish one-on-one relationships and build lasting and loving friendships. They enter a home as a stranger and come out as a trusted friend.
A food bank delivers food. I think we deliver more than food. We deliver the Word.
Instead of just getting a sort of an impersonal basket of bread, they're really getting a relationship, and that's ultimately what they need. But the reality is, for Christians, you can't grow, particularly in the second half of your journey, without serving. So you can't grow just by studying the Bible or going to worship services. You go by pouring your life out to someone else. Hill Country Daily Bread provides an up-close and personal experience that provides vibrant spiritual growth to the person who steps out to help someone else.
At Hill Country Daily Bread Ministries, volunteers really do make the difference. But the churches are where it all begins. Working side by side with over 50 church partners, the mission to serve God by serving others is fulfilled.
They serve as a great uniting force for us. It's been a rallying point for us as the body of Christ, as churches here in Boerne, and it's been an easy vehicle for us to work with in making Jesus known here in the Hill Country.
We train volunteers and churches to deal with the harsh realities they might encounter. Lost jobs, sickness, children in troubled homes, families in crisis, people in need.
We come alongside them and we stay with them forever. So once they become a church partner, we're in there helping them on poverty training, on best practices for outreach, because the goal for all of us is that families would come out of the grip of poverty and break that cycle.
At Hill Country Daily Bread Ministries, we know the work is about families. It's about children, about the sick and the elderly, those who need help helping themselves. Families like the Hernandezes, who came to Hill Country Daily Bread in desperate need of help.
We had 14.5 acres up in Harper. My daughter was born. After 10 years, she became ill. She had cancer of the liver. She died at the age of 10. And then my husband lost his job. He has cancer of the bladder. And of course, my daughter has diabetes.
They turned to Hill Country Daily Bread because they had no one else to turn to.
We tend to think that it's someone who doesn't want to work or doesn't have an education. But what I saw is someone so broken to have to come and ask for help. And I had to fight back the tears when I saw this man that said, "I want you to know that I worked for 28 years.
They took away our house and our land because when my daughter got sick, we could no longer pay for it. And not being able to pay for it, they just took it away. So we lost everything.
They did everything they could do, and it still wasn't enough. And I'm just grateful that there's such an opportunity for them to come and get, they didn't need a handout, they needed a hand up.
And if they wouldn't have put out their hands to help us, we wouldn't be here today. I would be homeless. And I thank God.
Now Rachel and her husband volunteer their time to help others in their community.
Helping other people is terrific. It makes my day. Every Thursday I'm ready. I'm ready to go to church, be able to pull out my folder, making sure everybody's there. I already know everybody's name. When they're in there, oh, Miss Rachel, it's so good to see you. It makes my day. It makes my day. I mean, I feel terrific. It's one of those things that, you know, I mean, it fills up your heart.
We got it going on tonight. When I get through on Thursday nights, I mean, we're so happy. We're high-fiving each other. We just ministered to, 80 families. To think that 80 families out there really need all this food, and they do, I mean, some of them really, really need it. It's just hard times, and I'm glad to serve the Lord this way, and it just makes us all feel really good when we can do this.
We started small, but now Hill Country Daily Bread serves over 8,000 people in the underserved 8 Hill Country counties: Bandera, Northern Bexar County, Kerr, Medina, Gillespie, Comal, Kendall, and Uvalde. The sick, the elderly, single mothers, the working poor and children. Our mission to bring the hope of Christ has grown broader as we've come to understand the needs of the people we serve.
Hill Country Daily Bread is primarily anchored around one very, very solid principle, is that transformation takes place through relationship. The food is really secondary, isn't it? They do provide food. They do provide what a person needs: clothing, books, and personal items. But the number one thing that gets me excited about Hill Country Daily Bread is that they require a relationship. And we know as Christians that transformation happens through relationship.
It's so wonderful to have an opportunity to speak truth to someone's life. And for the girl that I'm in relationship with, it's been a wonderful experience to just love her and to let her know that she's loved and that she's wonderful and that she's beautifully and wonderfully handmade by God and that He has a hope and a future for her.
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so that's why we do what we do. We give them the food box, showing them how much we care, and after a couple times, after a couple weeks, after a couple boxes, we build that relationship with them. And before you know it, we ask them, hey, how you doing? And they finally say, I'm not fine, I'm not good. I have a prayer request. And then that's when we can introduce them to God, show them God, pray with them and pray for them. And when they see the results of that prayer, the rest is history.
Through mentor relationships, needs can be assessed. It's our goal to address the underlying issues of poverty, not just immediate needs for food. We believe that with the economic crisis, more than ever, God is calling His people to be the answer for families whose lives have spun out of control. Over half of the 42,500 Hill Country neighbors living below the poverty line are children, and more join their ranks every day. So often in our work, we come across the heartbreak of struggling children, their lives affected by the poverty they live in, needing help, needing guidance, needing encouragement.
Kids in poverty tend to have very small dreams because they're in crisis just like their family is.
And again, our volunteers answer God's call through a program called Stand By Me. That's designed to reach out to children in the attempt to break the generational poverty that can trickle down in families.
The Stand By Me program has made an enormous difference in the lives of some of our students.
A mentoring effort that's having real results, real progress, real impact in the lives of children. Jim Fisher is a Stand By Me mentor for 12-year-old Rush.
Oh, Rush is he's a ball of fire. He's a dynamic little guy, and I just enjoy being with him.
Jim, a father of 4 grown children, loves sharing his spiritual walk, work ethic, and hobbies with Rush.
There's really nothing not to like about him. Mr. Jim has taught me a little bit of ping pong, basketball, and woodworking.
Rush comes from a single-parent home. His mother works long hours to keep her family financially steady and wanted Rush to have a positive influence in his life, so she turned to the Stand By Me program for help.
He was retreating into himself in a quiet way that I didn't feel was healthy. So when I came to them with this was my main need. They provided Mr. Jim, and it's just like he came alive within a month. He was becoming alive. I don't have that male understanding, so he did, and they provided Mr. Jim, and Rush just became alive. And it's been like that for the last 3 years. It's just been amazing, and he just keeps growing. He's even looking forward to Mr. Jim teaching him how to drive. Honestly.
Stand By Me mentors are matched with kids in need. The call for more mentors is constantly growing, and you can make a difference. Be that guiding voice and a guiding hand.
Before they came into our midst, we had all these isolated, disconnected attempts to mentor kids. With Hill Country Daily Bread coming onto the picture, suddenly we had one mechanism, one organization that tied it all together and made it possible to do great things in a short period of time.
As the only regional resource center of its kind in the area, Hill Country Daily Bread has provided more than a decade of unchanging dedication. A commitment to feed the hungry, help those in crisis, and to break the cruel cycle of poverty through our unique approach to services.
We're so much more than a food bank, and obviously we have lots of food, but the core of our program is family mentoring. And then we address the kids with Stand By Me, which is a student mentoring program. And then we supply those kids with books and Bibles and Bible studies through our Kingdom Kids Book Club. That household often needs things, and we've got a whole household supply ministry. We address the kids and the adults through our clothing ministry, where we sort beautiful clothes for them, donated by the community. And then what are the needs for those babies? Well, it's a diaper program, diapers and wipes. And then we got some neat seasonal programs where we sort and pack Easter baskets. And then that slides into back to school, where we do socks and underwear and outfits for back to school. And then we get into Thanksgiving, and we pack a whole Thanksgiving dinner through a Thanksgiving box program. And that's a cook-at-home dinner. And then here comes Christmas, and we go out and we match all the children with toys, and we pack them so that their parents can give them to them on Christmas morning. And those are those wonderful things that we have. And not to forget our seniors, but oftentimes, you know, Depends and Poise and different things like that seniors need, they're supplied through our programs as well. So we are more than a food bank.
There is still so much work ahead, so much that still needs to be done. We need churches and we need volunteers. Come join us in our fight against hunger and poverty. We can't do the work alone. We need you. Now is the time for you to open your hearts to donate time and money to help those in need.
I would hate to see what would happen to a community without Hill Country Daily Bread. Again, they are an organization that ministers to the soul and to the family, and I thank God that they're here.
I will go on supporting Hill Country Daily Bread Ministries because I doubt that the need will ever go away. Even as we pull some people out of poverty, many more people are moving here looking for work, and many of them will fall into poverty as well. So the need will be ongoing. Christ told us the poor will be with you always, and they're there so that I can do my duty as a Christian.
Really, we're it for the area as far as these kind of resources go. So we have done a lot of planning to make sure in the future that we're able to meet those needs.
This facility we're building will hold a tremendous amount more food and products that we can store, but it will also give us the ability to educate and train the community.
Hill Country Daily Bread is one of those ministries where it is clearly evident that the monies that we give are making an eternal impact. Not just meeting an immediate need, but we're talking about making an eternal investment.
For the person who's maybe getting introduced to the Hill Country Daily Bread ministry, you have to decide amongst a lot of ministries, a lot of good causes, where do you put the limited resources God has given you? I tell you the truth. There's hardly another place that you can deposit resources knowing that it will be multiplied any better than the Hill Country Daily Bread. So if God has given you resources, I promise you, you are being a good steward by depositing it in the ministry of the Hill Country Daily Bread.
We are Hill Country Daily Bread, and we are asking you to make a difference, to be a part of the mosaic we live every day. With you, these pieces come together making something beautiful and complete. Hungry I come to you, for I know you satisfy. I am weary, but I know your touch restores my life. So I wait for you. So I wait.